Let's take a quick look at this room. So much detail in it, and all of this woodwork and so on can feel quite overwhelming. And then one also thinks, well, how would we create this? Where's the vanishing point? This is 1 point perspective because we're looking face on at the far end of the room, and then these lines come out. So there's a vanishing point out the back there somewhere. And logically, if we zoom in here, given that this is a symmetrical room with a fireplace as the centerpiece of the far end of the room, one would imagine that the middle of the fireplace would be the middle of the middle, And sure enough, if you look at these little lines for the interior of the fireplace like this, if we were to extend them out like this until they intersect with each other, we pretty much end up in the middle of the room. So the center of this room is something like that. It's not perfectly symmetrical, as you can see, because you've got a little bit more of the chimney breast on that side of the line than the other if we take the center of this beam. But it's reasonably close. All right. So let's take a look at some other things. If we were to say make this our vanishing point, let's see if these side lines join to that. Let's have a look. So if we were to extend this line out, it does pretty much join to that vanishing point. If we take this line, which is around about the kind of level of the horizon stroke vanishing point, it's pretty close, okay? But then obviously these higher lines, they're just higher. They don't come all the way down there. So it's not perfect, but it does give us a sense of that is the center of the room. However, let's also think about this. Quickly have a look around the room at the furniture. Okay, so we know that this bed is drawn in 1 point perspective because the base of the bed is horizontal and it's parallel to the bottom of the page. So we know it's 1 point perspective. We're looking side onto it. The viewpoint or the vanishing point for it is somewhere there. We could probably join it to there and say, yep, that'll work. We can use that as our vanishing point if we wanted to create this. And similarly, so this chair is in 2 point perspective, okay, because we're looking corner on. Here's a corner of the front of the chair. It's arranged across, it's at an angle across the far corner of the room. So we know that this is probably around about 45 degrees to us. And so we could say, okay, well, maybe we can just join this, use this as the vanishing point for 2 point here. It's approximate, can sort of work. Fit in the far leg length round about into there. And then this we just bring down slightly. We end up creating it like that. So we could use this sort of center of the fireplace as a bit of a vanishing point to create the chair and to create the side panel of this bed. Now, would I go about trying to construct this thing super accurately? No, I wouldn't, okay? And I just want to show you how I would tackle this if I wanted to draw something like this. Let's just quickly give ourselves a reference. So we've got our reference here up in the corner. And what I would start with is drawing myself a rectangle at the bottom of the room. Let me give myself, I'm going to go blue, I think. Okay, so if I draw myself a rectangle at the bottom of the room, I wonder if I can reduce the size of this. Yes, I can. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. Take up as much space as I can here. And if we look at this, oopsie, it's probably about a third, it's kind of the center third of the house. So I'm just going to say, all right, about a third of the height of the page, like that. I'm going to draw myself a rectangle. And then I'm going to take side walls out like this and like this to get it approximately, looking at where that leaves the page. Okay, so that is the beginning of my room. Let me just try and get this a little bit more symmetrical. It's not perfect because I haven't put that right in the middle, but good enough, okay? So now what I want to do is put my fireplace in, kind of in the middle there. So let me put a fireplace like this. And chimney breast going up like that. And the middle of this room, okay, so let's do the side, which you have done before. Let's go and put in a door like this. So we want the door, and the top of it is going to be pretty much parallel to where the roof joins the wall. Similarly, we're going to have this line extending out like this to do this window with the curtain. And then we can do the curtain like this. We can do this curtain like this. This one like this. We've got that window pane like that. We've got the little door, the window pane in the door like this, going towards the end of the room, just slightly converging. That's all I'm trying to do, is make it converge. We've got our doorknob. Here in front of the window, we're going to have this table. So we've got that table like this. And coming down, we've got a leg like this. We've got a hint of this leg behind. We've got this leg here in front. We've got the little stool. So I'm just going to put that stool in there like that. This stool is kind of corner on because we're looking at one leg here closer than the other. So this is 2-point perspective. So I'm just going to make the far leg a little shorter and this leg here a little shorter and a hint of the far leg behind. We can put in our pictures. So here go the pictures extending along like this. I haven't done the door perfectly accurately like this. So here we've got a picture. We've got these pictures lined up here, and they're straight, obviously, no angles to them because they are in 1 point. So there's that picture. Then we're going to put in the bed on this side. So if I put in the corner of the bed here and take it along like this, all the way to the edge of the room, pretty much. Make it horizontal. Take it up like this, a certain amount. I'm going to bring this along like that all the way to the end for the side of the bed. I'm going to take this up and around like that. So I'm just literally copying what's going on there. Then I've got the edge of the mattress like this. And the far side of the bed is like this. Oh, I've got to do this in 2 lines. Okay, up, along, back. That's giving me the side of the bed. Quickly erase where I was really, really messy at the very beginning. So that is our side of the bed. I can erase where these wall lines pass right through the bed. I can erase where I've made a big mess here. I need to bring the corner or the edge of the mattress all the way to this side of the bed like that. So I'm just going to erase gently there so I can see the top of the bed like this. Okay, good enough. Now I need to put this side of the bed going towards our vanishing point. So let's go like that. Extend this to there. So that's the end of our bed. And on the far side of the bed, there's that lampshade. Okay, that chair in the corner. So remember, we reckoned there was a vanishing point somewhere here. Let's go and say, okay, this is one side of the chair. This is the closest vertical to us. If we imagine it going like that, the faraway vertical is going to be there. The seat of the chair is going to be something like this. We've got our armchair edges like that. The back of the chair is slightly bigger on that side. And then we've got this going like this. There's our chair. Okay. So that gives us the chair fitting in like that. And now what about this, the roof? So we've got the chimney breast goes all the way up into the apex. So what we need to do is figure out, I'm just going to change color so that you can see what's happening, to find the middle of this far end. If we do this, and you'll see immediately that I've not been accurate here. And then we take this line straight up from that intersection. That is this line, oopsie, of course I can't draw on here, much as I want to now. So if I take that, that takes that, that's the beam that comes all the way out of there, okay? What I do now is say, here is the end of the room. Let's take this like this and say now, let's decide how steep I want the apex of my room to be. So I'm going to do something like this. Take it out like that. So those are those lines like this. And then what I need to do is say, I'm going to end up with those lines are going to be parallel to each other. So these are my beams like this, all parallel to that first one, which I just randomly decided how steep do I want the roof to be, and a certain approximate whatever, okay? Then on this side, I need them to match each other, or to kind of start in the same place, so approximately there, then approximately there. And you can see that I've put this slightly over to one side, so I'm not going to get the same beam in there. Now for the roof, I mean the skylight. If I put the skylight window in like this, the side of the window is going to be parallel to the beams of the roof, and the ends of the window are going to be similar to how we do the pictures and things, that the closer end to us is going to appear to be slightly wider than the far away end. So this end, because it's closer to me, is going to be slightly longer than the far end, which is further away from me. So it's going to follow along like that and like that. And then you've got your windows going in. So this is how you build it out from that central panel at the far end. And then of course you can go in and put in the detail if you want to of these beams that go across like this. Oopsie, see I'm making a bit of a mess here because I'm trying to work fast. But you've got your big solid central beam like this in the middle, which is going to become slightly wider as it comes towards us because it's perspective. And then you've got another beam here. So there'll be a beam that goes across here like this. And this beam here like this. And one that goes across here if you want it to. So this is how you build the detail in, if you decide to put the detail in. And getting the roof trusses like this starts off with this crisscross diagonal to find the center point here, and then a vertical that goes straight up to give you the positioning for that beam, and then just that relatively random decision about how pointy, how much of an A do I want to have in my roof pitch. Okay, and then you've got your floorboards like this, and you've got your weird skinny rug. And that is how you would build this room out if you chose to build it out. Or this is how I would do it. Rather than constructing it very carefully, I would do it like this.